Victor Wembanyama entered the NBA as one of the most anticipated prospects in league history, immediately altering the perception of what a modern big man could be. Standing 7 feet 5, he displayed an unprecedented combination of size, skill, and mobility, producing averages of 24.3 points, 11 rebounds, 3.7 assists, and 3.8 blocks per game. His efficiency was clear, with 47.6% shooting from the field and 35.3% accuracy from three-point range, demonstrating the ability to protect the rim while stretching the floor. At just 21 years old, his production marked him not as an ordinary rookie or young player, but as a generational force. His presence was described not simply as the arrival of a new talent, but as a seismic shift in the sport, the type of event that redefined expectations for big men. This emergence was accompanied by debate within the basketball community, especially from retired legends who questioned whether Wembanyama was as groundbreaking as presented. Shaquille O'Neal, a dominant center of his era, argued that observers were exaggerating the uniqueness of Wembanyama's abilities. He referenced Bol Bol, another tall player who could handle the ball and shoot from the perimeter, claiming that the league had seen such skill sets before. Shaq doubled down by asserting that Wembanyama could not survive against him or Hakeem Olajuwon in their prime, predicting that a player of his size and build would be dominated physically by those historical figures. This critique introduced a narrative clash between nostalgia for past centers and recognition of the evolution in player development that allowed someone of Wembanyama's frame to operate as a guard offensively while remaining a defensive anchor. The San Antonio Spurs structured their future around him, seeking not only to maximize his talent, but also to build a long-lasting dynasty. The organization, known for decades of success under Greg Popovich, applied the same disciplined, methodical approach that had brought 5 championships. Their immediate moves surrounded Wembanyama with both veterans and emerging stars. A central piece of this effort was De'Aaron Fox, a 27-year-old guard who signed a 4-year, $229 million contract extension. Fox brought experience, speed, and leadership, averaging 19.7 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 6.8 assists the previous season while shooting 44.6% from the field. His role was likened to that of Tony Parker alongside Tim Duncan during the Spurs' earlier dynasty, providing stability and playmaking next to the team's new franchise cornerstone. Another critical addition was Stephon Castle, who won Rookie of the Year in the 2024-25 season. Castle averaged 14.7 points, 3.7 rebounds, and 4.1 assists while excelling defensively against top perimeter players. His combination of scoring ability and defensive intensity made him a two-way force and one of the most valuable young assets in the league. Alongside him was Dylan Harper, the number 2 overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft. Harper came into the league after averaging 19.4 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 4.0 assists at Rutgers, shooting 48.4% from the field. His willingness to embrace a supporting role, combined with his unselfish playstyle, was compared to James Harden's early years with the Oklahoma City Thunder. To bolster the roster further, San Antonio signed frontcourt veterans Luke Kornet and Kelly Olynyk. Both players provided size and floor spacing, giving Wembanyama freedom to operate inside defensively and stretch opposing defenses offensively. This roster construction created a balance between youth and experience, aligning with the Spurs' traditional blueprint of combining player development with veteran contributions. The organization held a reputation for cultivating talent while ensuring that each player had a defined role, preventing overlaps from creating dysfunction. Despite the optimism, significant challenges threatened the Spurs' ambitions. Wembanyama's health stood as the most pressing concern. In the 2024-25 season, he suffered from deep vein thrombosis in his shoulder, sidelining him for 36 games. During that period, the Spurs played 46 games in total with him active, posting a 21-25 record. Without him, they collapsed to 13-23. These figures underlined his irreplaceable value and highlighted the fragility of building a team around a player with a history of medical setbacks. The franchise recognized that his durability would determine whether their dynasty could materialize, or whether the project would unravel under the weight of his absence. Another concern was offensive spacing. Despite their roster talent, the Spurs ranked only 20th in the league in three-point percentage, converting just 34.5% of attempts. With multiple playmakers in Fox, Castle, and Harper, the floor risked becoming clogged, limiting driving lanes and creating turnovers. Poor spacing also made them vulnerable to defensive schemes that packed the paint against Wembanyama, neutralizing his inside scoring and rim protection by forcing the team to rely on inconsistent perimeter shooting. Financial pressure compounded these issues. Fox's $229 million contract extension represented a major commitment, one that threatened to push the Spurs towards salary cap limitations in future seasons. While the team had a $2 billion war chest and 2 additional lottery picks in the 2025 draft, long-term flexibility could be compromised if their core failed to produce immediate success. Salary cap constraints had historically crippled ambitious teams, and San Antonio risked being caught in the same trap if they could not balance contracts with productivity. The Spurs culture remained their greatest weapon. For decades, the organization had been admired for discipline, execution, execution, and player development, establishing themselves as a gold standard in professional sports. Their system historically emphasized roles, team play, and unselfishness, creating conditions where stars and role players could coexist. Castle's rapid improvement into a reliable two-way player reinforced this system's value, while Harper's willingness to adapt and Fox's leadership provided balance. These traits mirrored successful models from past teams such as the 2014 Spurs and the 2011 Thunder, which blended youth, veterans, and role definition into championship contending lineups. Wembanyama's unique skill set added another layer to the Spurs' design. His three-point shooting at 35.3% created spacing for guards, while his rim protection anchored the defense. His ability to handle the ball like a guard forced mismatches across the court. If he added weight to his frame as projected, he could replicate the physical dominance of Shaq while maintaining perimeter shooting ability similar to Stephen Curry. The potential combination made him unlike any player in league history, a blend of size, skill, and versatility that could set new standards for the sport. At the same time, debates persisted regarding how his game would translate against the physicality of past eras. Shaq repeatedly argued that players like himself and Hakeem Olajuwon would overpower Wembanyama, questioning whether his modern style could withstand traditional dominance in the paint. These comments kept alive the tension between acknowledging basketball's evolution and respecting its history. While modern skill sets emphasized versatility and perimeter shooting, questions of durability, toughness, and physical matchups continued to shape perceptions of greatness. As the Spurs looked forward, their blueprint carried echoes of past dynasties but also faced unique challenges of the modern era. Health management, financial planning, and maintaining chemistry in a star-driven league determined how far they could rise. With a $2 billion budget and lottery picks available, they held the resources to keep building, but execution remained the determining factor. The Spurs' strategy combined immediate competitiveness with long-term planning, reflecting their belief in sustainable success. They approached roster construction as a chess game, while other organizations scrambled to keep up. Their ability to align Wembanyama's dominance with supporting stars, veterans, and cultural stability set them apart from teams that relied solely on talent accumulation. Yet the risks were significant. Injuries, spacing issues, salary cap complications, and conference competition all loomed as potential disruptors. The NBA world watched with anticipation, recognizing that the Spurs project represented not only the future of one franchise, but a broader experiment in how basketball's evolution would shape the league. Wembanyama's health, development, and partnership with teammates like Fox, Castle, and Harper formed the foundation of San Antonio's aspirations. The outcome of this effort carried implications beyond one team, signaling whether modern skill-driven big men could sustain dominance in a league of constant adaptation and relentless competition.
Oh, Wemby, you ready to backtrack on those Bol comments at all?
No, I'm not, because if you listen to what I said, you guys are acting like Wemby is the first 7'5" player that dribbled coast to coast, put it between his legs and shot a three. He is not. Bol is the first. I never compared the two. I just said you guys act like you've never seen it before, but you have. You've seen Bol do it.
How do you think that the new age big man like Wemby would do against the big men of your era, yourself, Hakeem?
No shot.
You're going to put him through the basket?
Of course. Every time.
I'm watching Wemby, and I feel like I'm watching a kid grow. Like, I'm watching him in some of these games, and I'm like, oh, no, this is terrifying for the league. And I said this on our previous podcast. By the trade deadline, he and Ant will be the faces of the league. I'm not sure it's going to take that long. I'm seeing major jumps from Wemby.
He's become a lot quicker at, like, reading the floor and making reads than I would expect a player at his age. And part of this, I think, has a lot to do with him playing professionally as opposed to coming up through the college system. Like, he's just been around a lot of really smart basketball minds in his development. The big one to me that stands out is the dude is just a savage competitor and is not scared of the moment. Obviously, you mentioned the defensive stuff. It's hard to even describe. It doesn't even look like other NBA players that have come before him. I'm with you. I think we got to think long and hard about him being a top 10 player right now.
Everybody is going to look like Victor. He has the chance to be one of the best, not in his age or not in Europe, one of the best to ever play this game. Like, we have never seen something like that before. We got to get ready for this kid. You know, he's going to be really good.
And the evolution of the game is taking us this far. You know what I'm saying? When we got 7'5" dudes able to do everything on the court. The league's really in trouble when he comes in.
Steph Curry loves space. He creates it through movement. Kevin Durant needs space. He creates it with his elevation and his length and his size. LeBron James needs space. He creates it with his athleticism and his strength. Every player needs space. He has a combination of things that we have never seen. 7'5", high release point, elevation on his jump shot, quickness, footwork, all of the things that you put into it is That's the scariest thing that we've ever seen.
Wait, back up 1 second, though, because we were talking about this a little bit in the newsroom. And Zach, I'm curious your take on this. You told me that everybody in the NBA, what we're chasing right now is space.
Yes.
Everyone wants space. But for Victor Wembanyama, this is completely different when we talk about space.
He is space. He is the embodiment of a human space because if you crowd him, he can elevate over you. If you give him space, and again, you see because his skill, he can take one dribble. He only needs a fraction of the space. Steph Curry has to work extremely hard. That's what makes him special to get his space. This guy can take one dribble and the stride and the length and then the elevation. On top of it, the accuracy. That's the scariest thing. I won't say as good of a shooter as Kevin Durant, but like if someone told you in 5 years he could shoot like Kevin Durant, there's not a basketball mind in the world that would be surprised to hear that when you look at his form and his and the way he shoots the ball already.